All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Masters Class Episode 6. I am TBK Zord here, joined by Juuki, as always. Juuki, thank you so much for coming out tonight. We got some good stuff tonight. Got some good stuff. Got a Hanamura replay, which should be a lot
Oh,
of fun. Yeah, and
okay.
we're gonna talk a little bit of Garden Terror, but we won't stay on that too long because
Mhm.
we'll try to cover the highlights. But I hate Garden of Terror so much.
I hate it too.
I mean, I don't know anybody. Okay, I know maybe one person that likes that map, but
I have several friends that like this map too, just because it's like very cheesy and you can do a lot of cheesy stuff in
you
this map.
can.
But it's just like I don't know, it's just like the way it's structured. It's really annoying.
The objective is just weird.
hmm
I don't like it. I wish
I
I wish they'd redo it.
I think for me, the most awkward moment for it is like whenever the enemy team has the terror, and then you're forced to, you have to kill the terror, and like sometimes it's like, does your hero do enough damage? Does your call do
Hmm.
enough damage? But if that part is just really feels really awkward for me. I don't know why. It
It's
just
just
feels
that
really
whole
awkward.
like let's run around and chase the da 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 and the garden terror running around and your team all like
hmm
flying through and yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Ugh. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's rough. But let's talk about it real fast.
All right.
Big giant map, 3 lanes, lots of
Mm-hmm.
merc camps.
You can get a jungler in your draft. It's super viable,
Hmm.
super good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly talk about the seeds. So
Right.
you have the top seed and you have the bottom seed. Each side gives a total of 90 seeds. So ultimately, it's like you just have to get your fifth, and like the small ones give out 15 siege each groups. So there's four of these small groups. So if you get two of them, that's 30, and then if you destroy one of the terrors, that's 60 seats. So it's legitimately 90 seats in total.
Okay.
And yeah, the first phase is pretty much what you want to do is really just get those 90 seats so that way you can prevent the enemy team from getting a first terror during the first phase of the seeds. If you do if it does tend to happen where the enemy team does get the first terror on the first phase of the seeds, then it's best to if you have the draft to really push the terror away, meaning like let's say for example if you have a Tychus, then your minigun works on the terror as well.
Hmm.
So you can use make sure you just have Tychus chase or just running chasing the terror wherever lane he goes, just
That's right.
yeah, just destroy that. But if you don't have the comp where like you do burst damage to the terror, then once the terror puts the plant down, destroy the plant so that way you can negate his extra damage towards structure and stuff when every time when the plant comes down or
Yep.
whenever he puts his plants down.
And that'll allow
Um,
your structures to fire again, since it just
yeah,
shuts them down too. Because any extra
yeah.
damage is good.
Mhm.
People ignore the pot way too much.
Mhm.
It is not that hard to kill if you have one or two people focus it down real fast, and it's got a really long cooldown. So that actually negates a ton of damage the Terror can do if you
Yeah.
take that out quickly.
Yeah. I mean, one of the good heroes that you can pick up here is TLV. Viking is really good here.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can have each of the Vikings on one lane, or you can do like a one lane where it's a format, and then two Vikings on one lane and then another Vikings on the other lane, and then also you can put in one of the Vikings on in the terror, and also that counts as one.
Yep.
So it's like you have two Vikings out and then one in the terror as well. So Vikings um can be really good of a pickup if you guys know how to play TOV really well. Again with this map has a lot of cheat, like you can do a lot of cheese. You can see it a few times in HGC where like what is it, like they had a medic material, they had Rainer or something where like they could just pretty much like medic evac and then after that fly to their keep and just take that. That's another way you can do it, but
Sure.
I wouldn't really recommend doing that because like it requires a little bit of coordination because you
Not
need
in
to make
solo
sure.
queue.
Yeah, because it's like you just have to make sure that everyone sits on the sink and all that stuff. Like nobody fidgets, because it's like if one person gets out of the sink, then then you're pretty much dead or so. So
Yep.
yeah, it's a little bit risky, but if you can, you could do it. Just again, I wouldn't really recommend it. I really just try best to really just play standard. So remember, first phase, get the seeds, and then after that second phase you want to get the seeds, so that you can have a terror and just push try to really focus on pushing one lane with the terror, so that way it's like you can get the fort and the keep a lot easier and you can have
Hmm.
pressure on that one lane already instead of you know trying to get all of these forts. Like it's like a terror. I don't think the terror does. Actually, I could be wrong, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say that like the damage, it doesn't do damage more over time like how it is with D Shire, where like if you capture the DK at like 15 minutes in or blah 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 or so, then it'll deal more damage than the previous time when you first capped it. But I think this is like I think I actually, yeah, I'm not too
All
sure.
the yeah,
Not too sure.
all the objectives scale, but it it'll be set when it spawns. Like it
Hmm.
won't build up any
Yeah,
more
that's fine.
strength while it sits there.
Hmm.
It's just at the cap point. Whenever the time limit when it spawns, that's when the
Okay.
yeah, that's when the damage goes. That's I mean that's kind of true across all the objectives. Same for
Hmm.
bosses, same for mercenaries and whatnot as well.
Yeah.
And like you said, jungler. That's a really
Oh yeah.
key thing. Since there's so many merc camps, and you can get a
Hmm.
lot of pushing power off of those. Who do you usually recommend goes into the terror in like a standard? Let's say I've got my standard, got my range DPS, got my tank, got my healer, got a melee DPS, and then maybe either a specialist or maybe a secondary tank.
I think it really go. I think you're looking at it a little bit wrong. It should be based off who can get out immediately once they're out of the terror. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, if you let's just simply say like if you have Falstad, then Falstad should be in the terror because once that terror blows up and he's out of the terror, then he can easily like fly out, gust them, fly out, or just dash to his teammates or whatever to for him to be safe. So anyone who can really escape should be in the terror.
Sure.
Um, but for example, it's like if you have a Vala, then of course Vala shouldn't be in it at all because she's your hyper carry and she needs to be out doing the damage. It's also another thing as well as who's the weakest link. Not in players. I mean, actually, it could be a little bit in players, but it also should be as the hero, like who's the least impact in the
Mm-hmm.
game. Yeah. So let's say like you have an
Who can we
Artanis, like
give up and still
yeah, so
keep our
boost
team
boost
fight or whatever?
yeah, pretty much like just boost him up. Like if he's like let's say Artanis for example isn't doing really well or doesn't have a huge impact into the game, then Artanis can be in that terror and so on.
Okay.
But
Um,
I'm sorry,
no,
but
go ahead.
another thing I still want to just note that having a person in the terror that has a mobility like to escape or something, that's still a good pick as well. So it's like you have three ways to like decide
Mm-hmm.
who's goes on who.
Yep, for sure. A few terror tips as well, and feel free to add any that you can think of.
Hmm.
For your pot, depending on how and where you're pushing, putting your pot to the edge or behind you can sometimes get a lot more value than putting in the middle. So I know a lot of people. Let's say the front two uh, towers, the gate is still up, A lot of
Hmm.
people will throw that plot down
Oh,
into the middle. Yeah,
over the
over the
gate.
gate.
Okay.
That's not necessarily the best way to do it, especially if you have people defending, because they will destroy that pot extremely
Really quick.
quickly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better to throw it behind you so that they have to come through you to actually hit it,
Hmm.
and then disable both the towers, and that will allow you to push much easier and potentially get more value out of it.
Yeah.
Another good way, especially for the first few terrors, is split pushing, where the terror person will actually go down, say you're either go like top lane or bottom lane, and the
Hmm.
rest of the team will push the far opposite lane, which will cause the enemy team to have to split their focus and allow you to get some good push. Of course, once you hit mid game and stuff, you'll get more value pushing with the terror, but especially with the early ones, getting some split push value can be really good because you want to be soaking as much as you can still while the objective's going, right?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I don't. Yeah, I think you said everything that's there. That's correct. Yeah. For again, I'm just gonna rephrase it a little bit. Like the first phase, if you end up getting a terror in the first phase of the
Mm-hmm.
seeds, I like what TBK said. It's best to really just try to get the forward skate instead of putting the plant over the gate so that way because really again you're just looking for the early soak, try to get ahead on the levels, and then after that later in the game you can start focusing the forts during your second terror, or maybe even just go for the keep if you're really looking to really just push that one lane. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with that. If you can get an early keep, just take it.
Yeah.
you know.
Also, the Terror does have an AoE swing, so clearing minions as you go is extremely quick and usually very much worth your time because that's still XP. And
Mhm.
if you happen to be a person like a Falstad who took your marksman talent, all those
Mhm.
minions will count for marksman too while you're
Mhm.
in the Terror. So that's just kind of a general tip, just because that'll just help you push the lane even faster and get your minions up there.
Mhm.
Um, Smart use of the polymorph AOE is very good. Throwing it if the enemy's got a lot of melee, throwing it down underneath your pot to keep them from being able to hit the pot is good.
Just for hit the
And
pot.
choke
Yep.
points. And a lot of these tips come from JHow because I've played this map JHow way more times than I've wanted to. And one of the biggest ones that he gave me is, so let's say bottom, middle, or top lane, right? You're doing, or you're intending to do a core push, but the keep's still up. The gate's down on whatever lane you're going in. You want to place the pot between the keep and the core, because this will disable both of them and allow you to move straight onto the core without it. Because the keep, if you're in a death push, will go down pretty quickly, and if you throw the pot down next to the keep, then you won't have the pot for the core. Whereas there is a
Mhm.
spot in the middle where you can hit both the keep and the core from any of the lanes as you're moving in.
Mhm.
So,
Oh, that's
so yeah,
yeah.
J How
That's a pretty
tip
cool
right
tip.
there.
Yep.
Yeah. Any other
Um.
garden tips that you can think of?
I really think that's it.
I mean, it's it's just a weird map. It's a weird
Yeah.
objective. Um, I don't like it. I don't like it as much as you play Ring Around the Rosie
Yeah.
a lot with it.
I
It's
100%
not.
agree with you
That's
on
just not
that.
that
Th-
fun.
Yeah.
It, it
I wish
really
they
isn't.
just delete this map. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. Completely agree. Okay, so we're not going to spend too much time on that, but a few extra tips um, as far as the Terra goes, and a few tips for draft and who used the Terras and stuff, as Juki was talking about. We're going to just move right on into some replays, and the first one will be on Hanamura. So this was Hanamura is a really interesting map, and Juki, I don't know if you've really gotten a full feel for it yet or not.
Um, I've it's I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, it's a brawl map. It's not. It's not a battleground. Like, I think what they need to do is increase the core's HP a little bit more instead
To
of
make it
making it
last a little
7.
longer.
Yeah, to make it last a little bit longer, because like all of these battlegrounds that have been released to us has always taken us to a level 20 game. So there's oh, my game crashed.
Oh.
I'm coming back. But as I was saying, um, this map is just like it can end like really really fast, and like
Mm-hmm.
the the longest game that I've ever been in was like pretty much when we get to like level 17 or 18. Like it's not a 20-minute map. I mean it's not a level
No.
20 map game. Yeah,
It's
it can
not a
end in
20-minute
fast.
map
Oh, sorry, not
usually
a
either.
20-minute map. Yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
It's not a level
It's
20 or a 20-minute map.
Like it just ends like really really fast. I really think that if they just increase the core's HP a little bit more, then I think this map will be okay. There's I've seen a lot of so far I've seen like HL comps where like you get at least like a bribe hero, so like a
Mm-hmm.
Falstad or a Brightwing, and they just go bribe the uh I think it's the camp where like you can where you activate it and then like every it releases like a AoE heal, like a AoE regen heal.
Yeah.
I seen a lot of people just like bribe that talent and then after that just just does that. But I mean pretty much
A
just like
pusher is very strong. I mean, a lot of the strategy revolves around getting those first two forts down because that
yeah.
just pushes you so much
Well,
further.
honestly, it's like you don't even have to really go for the like it's legitimately like you can just kind of brawl it out, get a little bit more of XP. Like the jungles give you XP as well, so just capping that will just again just give you XP and
The jungles give huge XP.
yeah, and
It's
also like
insane.
the turret doesn't feel like it does a amount of damage, so it's just like you can legitimately just sit on it and just like let it tickle you if you're playing a tank. Like it doesn't do a lot of damage at all to
No.
you. Um, but again, it's like yeah, like you don't really need to get the forts because if you really just play it defensively and you have like let's say like you have a global in your draft like a fall stat, then it's like the fall stat can just um push the payload while you're for just defend against their payload and then
Mm-hmm.
keep doing that just keep doing that, rinse and repeat, and then after that, win the game that way. Like again, it's not that the map isn't gonna take you to 20 or 20 minute map, so it's like you
Mm-hmm.
can just keep doing that and just end the game. It's legitimately, I feel like it's really heavy on drafting, like really really like if you have a global, then it's like you can split, when you guys have to escort the payload.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so this Hanamura match, we drafted Varian Rexar, Falstad, Karazim, Asmodan, and
Hmm.
we can go into it if you want. I can kind of
Okay.
explain the draft a little bit to you as we go. Rexar is fairly strong on this map, just because he counts as 2 for pushing payload, and you can use Misha to contest a payload, which
Okay.
is pretty awesome. Oh look, I crashed now.
Oh, is crash?
Yep. Is yours
Okay.
loading?
Yeah, mine
Okay.
loads.
I should be able to join back in potentially. If not, we'll just restart it.
Hmm. So I'm just gonna go ahead and look at these drafts. So you have Varian Rexar, Karazim, and Asmodan, Diablo, Raynor, KT, Tyrande, Genji. I've seen a lot of people be running a lot of Genji lately. I mean not Genji, sorry. I mean Genji's a really good hero. I really enjoy him a lot. But I'm talking about Asmodan here real quick.
Yes, Asmodan.
Asmodan on this map. I
Yeah.
honestly don't know how I feel about it. Like, it's pretty much like Hanamura is like Brax's holdout, with a 2 lane map. If you look at it that way, so it's like if Asmodan doesn't really work on Brax's holdout, then like why would Asmodan work in here in Hanamura? It's just like it's the same concept where it's a 2 lane map. So again, I don't really understand why people really
And it's
just
it's the
draft
push,
Asmodan.
right?
I
It's
mean, you
to
if
get
you
the
want
extra
to
shots from the fort.
I mean, it's like if
That's
you
the
want to look at
theory,
it
I
that
guess.
way. If you really want to look at it that way. Oh wait, are you in this game?
No, I can't rejoin.
Okay, so I will
Yeah, just
just
quit
quit
out.
replaying. But I mean, it's like, yeah, you can consider it as a, you can really just look at it as like the only reason is because of the push, but like there's just other heroes that does a better job than him if you're just really looking to do just
To
like
do the
split,
push.
yeah,
Hmm.
to do the push and all that sort. So it's like again, don't really understand why a lot of people draft Asmodan, but just know that if you do have an asthma, then just let him push, and you try to concentrate on your four man, and also it's like you can help the asthma dan push a little bit. Like let's say if you have a false stat, then like you can fly up, or if you're playing Genji, you can help him a little bit, gank, try to go for that kill, and so on.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right, good. Looks like it's actually going this time. Yeah, the Karazim is interesting. They did run a Tyrande though, so they don't have a ton of healing either. Okay, so in keeping with our talk, I tried to talk as and direct
Hmm.
as I can.
Battle commences in 10 seconds.
All right.
5,
So
4,
Falstad, of
3,
course,
2, 1.
goes bribe. I'm going tank build. Asmoden's in a sucky spot.
Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah, that's what that for you.
The
That's
fat boy.
There's nothing I can really say to that as you should already know it's Asmodan.
Yeah. So all five of them did go bottom. So Rexard did actually get a little bit of extra soak. I warned him that you got people heading up. I still don't know why. But I would love to see heroes implement a missing ping. It'd be kind of nice. All right, so now we've got 3 on the bottom. Asmodan's heading up, putting some good pressure onto Diablo. Monk went damage.
I mean that's really the only build that you can go with the level 1 talent. It's like Monk is like a melee. I mean, obviously he's a melee, but like
Everyone's
just
just
how
running
he's.
damage build these days.
Yeah, it's legit. Like June described it. Told him in this chat that like legitimately it's the best talent for him to take Monk,
Interesting.
the Iron Fist, because like
The
with
heal's not worth it really anymore.
so okay, so with the insight it takes um okay, so pretty much it's like Monk can, it's like pretty much you want to treat him as like a Tyrande but a better Tyrande, because
Okay.
because you know how like back in the day it used to be like an ETC Tyrande where like ETC slides and then Tyrande stuns, like you still see that comp nowadays too, but like it's super rare. But like with Monk it's like, if you stun someone you can just blow someone up with your dash and your deadly reach, which is your E, and you proc your Iron Fist multiple times. So it's just like you burn that person down. So that's so pretty much, yeah, that's really it. It's like treat
Over
Monk
the
a little
healing.
bit like, yeah, treat Monk like Tyrande a little bit, but he can still heal he can still heal better than a Tyrande. And
Okay.
also
Because
with
it's the
this,
AOE versus the
yeah,
single target. Yeah.
yeah, and then also note that he has a palm as well, where like he can res someone or prevent someone from dying.
Okay.
Yeah, prevent someone from dying, and he's just really good.
Okay. Yeah.
And
No. No.
also like
That's good. That's interesting. I
eh,
honestly hadn't heard that. And
and it's like
June would know.
yeah, Jun is a support player for Tempo, and
He's
like
pretty
they're
decent.
rank 1. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
also note that as well as your level 4 talent, you have Spirit Ally, so you can also take that talent. But I just think that Earth Ally just gives a lot of value,
Mm-hmm.
because if someone is auto attacking you, you easily just get blocked. it'll easily just block that auto
It's
damage.
such a
And
good block talent.
yeah,
It's amazing.
it's really good against, let's say, Zeratul, because after he does his combos, like he needs to auto attack you. So when you put Earth Ally down, you prevent his follow through damage. Where after he uses a spell, his auto attack does extra damage. So like having that Earth Ally is will just get you value.
Hmm.
And for Air Ally, I know that it reveals a certain area, so like anyone with stealth or so
Yep.
can be revealed. But it's like if you have a good eye, then you should be able to see where the cloak is at, where
Sure, it's
the
something you got
person
to
that's
train
playing with the cloak.
yourself for.
Yeah, it's really, I guess you say it's really a little bit of personal preference, but for me it's like every time I see a Zeratul, I just insta lock the monk and just get that Earth Ally, because you can prevent someone from dying with the Zeratul's combo.
Sure. Okay, that's good. That's interesting.
Payload deployment begins.
All right, payloads deploying. Everything's pretty even right now. I got a little bit of an advantage in XP. Rexar's looking to push. Asmo's stacking his Q. And then, honestly, I haven't really figured out this map to the point of how you want to handle the payloads. Does everybody push it? Do you have like 3 people push it? Do you defend 4-man on theirs? Like,
I think the early game it's okay for where you can have a five. Honestly, it's like the max that you can do is 3-man. So
sure,
it's like
to
we
get it
don't,
faster.
yeah, we definitely do not need all 5 to be there. But I mean, in this case scenario, it's like you guys are already down here, so it's like what you can do is just have 2 people push the lane, and then maybe like 3 or 2 people escort the payload, because it seems like they are. Let's see what they're doing. So okay, so they're right here, right? They're right here, so they're close to your payload, and then they have one person at the payload. So it's
Hmm.
like they're, and also note that it's KT, so like they're losing one of their DPSer, and also note that they have a Tyrande heal, so they're not really going to
Any poke
uh
is gonna stick for the most part.
E- I mean, it's like you guys can legitimately just blow someone up. So like once Misha like stuns someone, specifically like a Genji, or a Tyrande, then it's like you guys can follow
Just
him
blow it
up and
up.
just go for the kill. Yeah, just
Hmm.
blow up that target, that
Gotcha.
stun. Like you guys can easily just kill anyone once Misha stuns someone. But as well, it's like you guys have a false set as well. That should be flying to their payload. Oh, that guy died. Yeah, but Falstad should be flying to their payload to prevent them from escorting it. I think,
Since we see that it's just one person up there.
yeah, it's just one person, and also as well, like Falstad should be able to deal with KT fairly easy. He shouldn't really have a hard time. But I mean, again, this is okay too. Like you guys trade an escort, I mean, trade a payload, so you guys each take 1 damage.
Yeah.
But the thing is that what you want to do at this point right now is really just push for this wall, because if you guys push for the wall, then you guys get the level XP, and you guys have a better chance of getting their fort, which will increase your core damage, by 2
For
to
sure.
2. And it's like right, and also as well, is that they don't really have really wave clear. Their only wave clear is KT, and KT's in the top lane right now, so pushing this should be really easy. It shouldn't
Sure.
really be much of a difficult.
I liked what this monk did as well. Is he pinged himself whenever he wanted you to kind
backing.
of gather for
For
heal.
heals. That's cool.
So that's just it's kind of a cool thing. It's kind of nice.
Payload
Okay, so
deployment.
Falstad went up. He bribed the camp. Got the heal thing. And this is, well, I'll mention it here. So Falstad's got the heal dealio. Payloads spawning. Still fairly standard for the most part. Basically dead even in XP.
Payloads deployed. Escort your payload to its destination.
Okay, I think got some down here to kind of defense. Asmodan. Poor Asmodan.
Asmodan's just getting caught. Immediately, is like the monk could have helped the Asmodan too, meaning like once monk was able to see them first, so like what monk should have just pinged that like, hey, they're here, Asmodan, back off, run, run. But he didn't ping or anything, and I guess the Asmodan got tunnel vision. Like even then, it's like Asmodan shouldn't really be super close to their turrets, you know.
So we're still contesting bottom right now. Falstad's trying to move it as best he can. There's Misha doing Misha things. Alright, Falstad flies down. He's kind of in the back. Lots of AoE damage. And this is... I'm saying heal. This is when the Falstad should have used the medic pack.
And he didn't.
And he still hasn't. And I'm trying to frantically type, and
Hero slain. Hero slain.
How do you forget? You're the only one that can bribe and do that.
so people, note to self, if you pick up one of the things where you use an F, use it. Like, because that fight could have legitimately turned around with a big AoE heal like that.
Mhm.
So that was really rough, just to start out with. Bribe on the other metacamp. Maybe he'll remember this time.
Oh god. Like he just used it.
Did he really just use it? I didn't even see that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because you can tell by the person use it is when he's going green.
Yep, you're right. He just used it right there.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
goodness. So I said careful 10 because, you know, they're almost 10.
Oh my god. Oh no. Team's falling apart already.
Rough start. Rough start. Now we got to soak. So I'm moving down. We've got 2 payloads right now. So I'm moving down. I'm trying to get this move down. I say more bribes, please. More bribes. Karazim's very angry at Kael'thas. Team is kind of contesting top, which is fine. This is giving me an opportunity to move this down and at least get one of ours turned in. Why team is engaging, I don't know.
Oh no.
Okay, another tip, boys and girls. Don't engage pre-10 against a 10 team. Okay, so instead of defending, my team went in and engaged while I'm trying to push.
Oh my god, team's just feeding.
Yep. It's okay. I'm soaking bottom right now to try and get us 10.
Misha, no!
No, Misha! Okay, so I get the front wall. We've got 10 now. I've got my taunt, and I'm coming up because my team's dying all over the place. Phoenix goes out. Monk. All right, Taunt goes down. But it's Genji, so it's doing Genji things.
I feel like at this point it's like you already can. It's really hard for me to say this because it's like, I want everyone to really like try to trust their teammates, but at this point it's like if you're really looking to carry this game because it's like all is lost with your DPSers and stuff. I think it would have been better if you just went Smash here, because if you had Smash, I think you can easily blow one of the targets up because it seems like your DPS isn't going to do anything at this point, meaning like, Falstad is having problem positioning correctly. You don't, and it's like Falstad is legitimately your only damage, and your monk just can't seem to position correctly as well. I highly recommend not always going Smash, but but I feel like in this case as well, it's like if you went like
It could have been a viable
Smash.
thing.
Yeah, it could have been a viable thing where like you could have carried. If you smash on a Tyrande, then she would blow up, or smash on KT and then he would blow up or so like that. Because again, it seems like your DPSers are just having a hard time trying to DPS and position correctly and all that sort. It really hurts. It really hurts to see this, but I think it would have been the best way if you went Smash, because again, every time when you taunt, it's like you expect your DPSers to follow up, and sometimes it seems like your DPSer isn't going to follow up.
All right.
Oh, he died.
There's the taunt underneath.
He
He's
died.
dead.
And also before note that as well is if you tend to go to Smash build, you still go the same 1, 4, and 7, which is the
Yep.
W build. You still go that. It's just 10 you go Smash.
Yep. The triple parry, other than even when I go twin blades on occasion for funsies, I usually parry at 1 and 4 and then the heal at 7.
Yeah, 7.
Parries are just really good.
Yeah,
now.
7 is a little bit more of a situational. Like there are other talents in 7 where like it's okay to take, but usually it's best to really just go 7, 1, 4. I mean, just best to really go just the parry 1, 4, and 7.
All right, so we're keeping up on XP simply because of camps. Falstad's getting the medic kit again. God help us.
Hopefully he uses it.
Oh, he used it last time.
He used it on himself when he was full
when he was
HP.
full HP. Double protected.
He used it again!
See, I didn't even notice this until we were pointing this out in replays. There's the taunt. Okay, so getting some value. Kill Tyrande. They went too deep. Working on the Diablo. All right.
Get me out of this game. Falstad used it twice on his own. Why?
While he was full. While he was
Yeah.
full. All right. So now I'm telling Asmodan, get bottom if you can, because bottom is now super low, and that's a extra shot potential.
I think I seen some Asmodan do this, and I think it's really the best way is if you're playing Asmodan on this map, it's better that you really just focus on split pushing and trying to go for that camp. So I mean, going for that forward. So I rather
sure.
rather have you get the demonic invasion rather than the black pool, because the demonic invasion will just help you push a lot faster and get those forts, so that way when you escort the payload, it'll be 2 shots instead of 1 once you get the fort. But here is you died. I think it would have been better is if instead of you rotating that way, you rotate the safe way, because their payload is like behind, it's like
Sure.
near their fort, so, and it's like there's really no reason for you to overstep your boundaries,
Sure.
unless all of your teammates are there and ready to back you up when shit goes down. But in this case, it didn't really look like it, because you don't have Gus, you don't have Palm, you have 7-sided strikes, so it's, and also your Rexstar wasn't there as well,
Wasn't
so
there.
he couldn't stun you to get you out. So
Sure.
it's really better for you to just rotate the safe way, and then after that, once the payload comes across or crosses close to your gate fort, I mean to your fort wall, then you can start, contesting it. But
Gotcha.
again,
I gotcha.
yeah, just be more a little bit considerate and just like if you
For
don't have cooldowns or
rotation,
anything,
safe
yeah,
way.
for rotation,
Yeah,
yeah,
gotcha.
safe way.
No, that's good. I definitely died 1 or 2 more times than I should have in this game.
Yeah, like you
For
could have
sure.
prevented your death there by not dying as if you just rotated safe.
Look at
Something
Misha.
that,
Look at Misha. Just like, nope. Just nope.
yeah, it's like at this point as well. Like if the Azmodan went the demonic invasion, like he should just be pushing up top and
Pushing
trying to
top,
get for
yep.
that fort. Yeah. So that way, again, when your payload spawns, you can just escort that, and it'll be worth 2 damage instead of 1.
At the
Like
very
that.
least.
That was.
At the very least, he is throwing his demonic general up top, which is good. But all right, I'm coming in here. There's
You got
Tyrande. She's ripe for picking the taunt. Blow up. KT uses
Yes.
the heal the correct way.
Oh no.
Hero slain.
Oh no. Nobody is rotating for the free kills. I don't understand what's going on. Rexstar is dead. That's what that's going for that fort. Which is good.
Welcome to Hero League. So the bottom fort is almost dead. So there we go. Okay.
He stacked it. Ooh, what a guy.
So now we've got a double. We got a double, which is good. This'll kind of catch us back up a little bit. So I'm going ahead and starting our rotation down. I'm like, guys, it's okay. We need to get ours in. This will even things up. They're almost 16. Rexstar's going to go try and delay top as much as he can. Diablo just put himself in a horrible position.
Don't do that, by the way. If don't really commit. Like there's, if you look at the payload, like you see that little, I guess arrows or so, like heading toward, like towards like the payload. That is the radius of where you should be when you're trying to escort a payload or try to contest. So it's legitimately, you don't have to be super close to the payload itself.
Yeah.
You can just be within its radius, and then after that you can prevent the escorting, or
And the
can
Diablo
escort.
went all in, and he had
Yeah, he
zero
went all in.
backup.
Yeah, so that really put him in a shitty spot. So yeah, keep that in mind as well. If you're trying to position to prevent an escort, just stay in the radius of it. At the
Okay.
edge. Don't stand in.
So I said fly top to help them out. See where he actually flies to.
Hero slain.
That was
Hero
well.
slain.
It was a good thought. It's a good thought. I come around though. I can flank around. Kill Tyrande. Of course, Genji just doing Genji things. They get their turn in top, but this even things up now. When I say even thinged up, I mean they got our fort and all that, so we're down to 1. We are in the same talent tier. Get our medic camp. There's not a whole lot. I have, in all my games on Hanamura ever since it's launched and back in beta and everything, I've seen, oh boy, we are just in a horrible spot right now.
Gust? Alright, no gust.
Nope. That would have been prime.
Yeah, if
Prime
he just
gust time.
gusted, everyone would have. Well, maybe not the Asmodan, but I think everybody else would have lived there.
It's rough. Someone forgot to get the turret up top. So enemy team, of course, is wanting to probably... They're wanting to do boss, but thankfully they weren't positioned for it. We are still same talent here, which is good. And I said throw the turret on the payload. course, is not happening. I'm getting stressed just watching this right now. Alright, Falstad flies in. We need to try and kill people. So I go in.
To kill, hopefully. No, that's not.
He's out. I've got Mortal Strike, though, on a lot of them, and this is Tron to heal, so they're not doing much.
Hero
Mhm.
slain.
Kerosene gets finished off.
Oh, okay.
Alright,
Well,
and then we
he-
say, hold, hold, hold. Because at this point, they have 2 down. We need to finish this, fort off before we turn in, and this is win condition right here. So I say, hold, hold. Oh.
He wanted to do the boss instead.
Has destroyed a bond. A hero has abandoned.
Kerosene barely. Barely. And that was our GG. Yep.
Oh man.
Blue team wins.
This is Gold Hero League, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that was a little bit insane.
Yep. Yep. So, yes, for chat, I did say that the Genji Protected is channeled, so technically you can interrupt him with a stun out of that.
Yeah, any CC stops his deflect.
So that is something that's really good to know, because especially as a Genji as well, because you don't want to go in when you have the potential to be stunned like that if you're counting on your deflect to help you get you out of whatever situation you put yourself in. Okay. Moving on to Infernal Shrines. let's leave the wonderfulness that is Hanamura behind and journey into the depths of Gold Hero League hell. I mean, just regular hell, as we watch the Punisher action. So this is our comp. I ended up going heals here. They ended up going double support, which I hate.
Double support.
Don't go double support. Double support is the worst. Ugh. Yeah. But I mean, we have a decent comp here. Kel'Thas is really good wave clear. The one thing we have to be careful of, and I'll say this a lot of times, if you look at the enemy team comp, Tychus is their damage. Once Tychus is dead, they don't have damage. So, I won't spoil anything, but we'll let's just count up how long it takes to for the team to understand this. All right, a little word of encouragement right off the bat. All right, guys, we got this. Feeling good. Threw my spray down. And away we go. So on this map, just for those who, because I've played lots of Rhaegar, like lots and lots of Rhaegar. So I ended up going Lightning Bond here. This is the extra lightning shield is extremely helpful on shrines to kind of kill stuff. Here's our the little opening fight in the middle, because why not?
Wait, Mouse should have died there 100%. I know it's a little bit of something that you can't do, like it's something a little bit out of your control, but like that mouth was legitimately near a wall and he was like overstepping
Completely
his
out of
boundary.
he was completely out of position.
Yeah, so
Completely.
it's like if your Diablo just charged at that mouth, 100% that would have been a kill, because you as a Rhaegar, Rhaegar in general just does a lot of does decent amount of damage whenever he's in wolf form and he's trying to bite someone.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, you have lightning bond, so it's like you just put lightning bond on someone else and you can just easily blow
Yeah.
it up because you also have Arthas's root, so it's like.
And if you watch too, a lot of the times you'll see me throw lightning bond on Diablo on Arthas, and this is because these are the tanks that are up in people's faces.
Mhm.
And so at this point, I ping top bottom. It's like, guys, Sylvanas is down bot. We need to work on this.
You guys get the kill. That's good.
And
You guys get another kill.
and a lot of times, if you watch me as well, you'll see me shift in and out of wolf form several times during fighting. It's free damage, and as long as you can go in and get the damage without too much risk of getting caught while you're doing it, you can really add things up a lot.
I mean, I agree with you a little bit.
I
but at the
play
same
aggro Juuki.
Okay, but it's like you're playing a healer, so it's like you
Yes.
shouldn't really be doing that. You know,
It's
like
true.
your
It's
main
true.
objective, regardless of if you have damage or not, should always be prioritized to healing your team.
Yes.
You know, if you're not healing your team dies, and you know what is that gonna do?
Exactly.
You're forced to just back off, or you know, forced to lose whatever, you know, any objective or so on. But like, I understand that, like, yeah, Rhaegar's bite does do damage, but like
if you can get safe heal nipping, especially as the enemy team are retreating, this can actually help you get in position to throw a totem down to slow them and help the enemy team go. It's not something, but I completely agree. You're right 100%. It's not something you should be, like, you shouldn't be getting out in front of the tank to get some bite damage off.
if you're looking for a totem, then it's like you can easily just like wolf form, and then after that, if you get close to him, you know, not biting him but close to him, you can just throw your totem down and then
Mhm.
back off. Like that's
For sure.
how you should be doing your totems, and that's, you know, as even like a support player, like you should always just try to be on, you know, try to be in the back line, and you're just healing your teammates up. Like don't prioritize trying to do damage as a
Mhm.
support. Like, please
Yes.
don't. Like, it's really, really stupid of you to do. And it's like, if you want to do damage, then play a
Play
damage dealer.
damage.
Don't do that shit when you play support. Like, that shit pisses me the
Yeah.
fuck off.
Pos-
You know what I'm saying?
Positioning is key for support play.
Yeah. In the chat it says talking about for Uther. Uther, I mean, Uther is like, you can Uther is a little bit more, I would say. I mean, obviously he's a melee support, but what you can do is like you pour out all of your heals first, and if you want to look for a stun, then go ahead and stun. Sometimes you can use Uther's stun as a follow-up CC, or it can be the first initiator. But generally, you really want to use Uther's CC as more of a follow-up, rather than being the initiator, because your initiator should always be the tank.
Mhm.
Shouldn't be
Yup.
any other. There might be some cases where like your DPS is like your initiator. For example, if you have a KT and you know he has the tornado, then like, okay, fine, that's a safe CC, you know,
Sure,
where like
'cause it's ranged.
he's in range, yeah, and that tornado is a range spell. But yeah, and you know, if you're playing like a melee CC, you know, for example, for supports, Uther, make sure that you use that as a follow up rather than an initiator.
All right, so we're down to kind of lanes right now. Sylvanas took quite a bit of damage down bot. Tychus, though, coming up with the mouth. And this, Diablo put himself in a really bad position. Those good Malfreds. Those good Malfreds, too.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good round.
So, as soon as Diablo died, I rotate straight up here just to soak this wave.
Also, I wanna point out as well is, if you have playing against a Sylvanas, it's really best to try not to give the first objective, because if you give them the first objectives, then it's you're pretty much fucked because you have Sylvanas who can just disable the turrets and all that sort. So it's really really best to really not give up that fort. But if it ends up where you end up losing the objective, then what you want to do is have your tank and then your DPSer and then your support defending that, and then the other two go soak so that way you can you're probably gonna lose the fort, but like you will gain something out of it because you have two people soaking a lane and they're all 5-man pushing it,
Yeah,
so
and
it's
that's
like
why
yeah.
and that's why Sylvanas is called a win more hero,
Mhm.
because if you don't get these objectives, she's going to be diminished in value a lot. But if you do, she's just going to snowball them further.
Yeah, but just note again that like Sylvanas doesn't do damage, so it's pretty much like and plus right now they have double support, so it's like again with what you said earlier in the game, Tychus is their only support
Yep.
is their only damage. So
Only damage.
so if you guys just focus their one damage dealer, then they're pretty much fucked because yeah, Sylvanas can throw her dagger into the shrine and just spread her damage, but it's not going to kill the monkeys. Like you can still kill the monkeys that are that have I don't know. I call it AIDS, but I don't know the correct term for it.
Just the poison,
the
poison.
poison. There you
Damage,
go.
yeah.
Poison. Yeah, the poison damage. So
Did you
yeah.
just refer to the skeletons as monkeys?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, we call it the monkeys. That's what we
Okay.
call it. There's some other terms, there's monkeys, there's shitters, there's a lot out there right now, but personally I like using the term monkeys because
All
they
right. Kill
run
the. You can
around.
still kill the little monkeys with the
Yeah.
poison damage.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like you can. I mean, it's like the poison is gonna be on the monkeys, but like you can still kill those that are poisoned. So like you don't have to be
before it
scared
kills
so
them
much.
themselves.
Yeah, before it kills themselves. So it's like you don't have to really worry so much about if they have a Sylvanas or so. Like you
Sure.
can still win. Just make sure that you don't lose the objective against the Sylvanas. But also don't panic, because sometimes making panic calls can resort to just you guys end up losing as well.
Yep. And see, right now, no one is focusing the Tychus like they should.
Tychus should be focused down. You're focusing the Tychus, so that's
Trying.
good. Oh! Okay, but look, I'm gonna let this play out. Okay, so you end up living. If that was a better team, you would 100% died there.
So
and
true.
then once you die, your team doesn't have a heal anymore. Like until you're back up. So it's like you risk so much for that kill. I mean, you end up living cool, but again, it's like once you get into a higher elo game,
Sure.
diamond or master or grandmaster, so you should really not be doing that.
Yep. Normally, though, if you're playing as DPS, you would have been focusing Tychus, so I wouldn't have to do
Yes.
that, guys.
Yes.
Just pointing this out too. I'm charging you DPS people. We're doing okay, but unfortunately Tychus is back. We got short death timers, and they've already got 30. So this is gonna end. We're all low.
Good kill.
So we survive. Well, most of us survive. We got some good kills, which is nice, but they had an early advantage, so they ended up getting the Punisher. Okay, so I'm pinging mid-bot so we can soak. I have to bait the Punisher over because no one else is here. But then Arthas gets back, so there's the double lightning shield. We're just trying to kill as much as possible. You have to be careful on these arcane, because those beams do hurt a lot. Of course, no one went mid and bot, so I'm pinging it again.
I mean, it's also good I mean, good for you the fact that they went double support because they can't really push that well with the Sylvanas. You know, like Tychus being their only damage. So at the end of the day, it was okay for you
It's a
to
decent
wait.
defense.
Yeah,
It's a
it was
decent
a decent
defense.
defense. It was okay that it happened, but you know, again, with most cases, you're not really gonna get this type of draft where like you know Sylvanas and Tychus is like the damage is like the only damage dealers.
Sure. So right now, I'm soaking bot since no one else is down here. So I push the lane up to the tower. I rotate middle to try and help out my peeps a little bit. Get a totem down. The Malfruits have actually just been really good, throwing them in to retreat points. And middle's just crazy. I went back down to soak bottom so that we don't lose the XP there since we are a little behind right now. Sylvanas is working on this bottom camp. The middle is just being crazy.
Oh, Malf almost died.
There's a lot of those almost.
Again,
Yep.
KT, don't go conviction. What is this? KT's build? Ah, my eyes!
So again, we're a little late. We've got stuff pushing bottom.
I need a moment.
Wait.
KT's build.
I haven't. See, these are things I don't pay attention to when I'm, you know, in the middle of things. I don't pay attention to other people's builds usually.
Oh, nice kill on
So
Sylvanas.
Sylvanas, me and Valera finish Sylvanas off. I go grab a sippy cup,
Oh, is that a mouth kill too?
moving to help our team out.
Oh,
Heals. Double lightning. This is why the double lightning is so strong. So I'm just trying to zone for our KT here.
Mouth should be the target instead of Uther. I don't know what you guys are doing. Mouth is such out of position. Yeah, okay, so even
Okay.
then it's like, yeah, it was wrong to just continue chasing to continue a kill. Like after you guys get a kill, so like you guys killed the Sylvanas and the
You
Variant.
need
You
to
guys
stay
after
around
that,
the objective.
yeah, you guys
Yeah.
should have, you guys should have just stayed and get the objective instead of
Mhm.
continuing for the chase and so on.
Okay, and so this is the okay. Mark this: 6 minutes and 58 seconds. TBK says gotta kill Tychus, because Tychus is literally their only damage right now. Valera says cool. Arthas says nice. We did. KT did manage to grab the Punisher for us, though. We're not going to be able to really follow up on it. So at this point, we just need to be soaking.
Yes,
We got they're
it's
10, we're
definitely-
9.5. So we should
okay.
technically have someone top and bottom, right? Or top and mid.
At this point is like once your Punisher is either at 50% or less than 50%, at that point it should be like, all right, fuck that Punisher and just go to lane and soak, because that, you know, by the time like in this position, in this scenario right here where you guys are trying to regroup to where the Punisher, which Punisher lane it's in, it's best to just forget about the Punisher, just go back and soaking, because
You're not going to
because
get any
by-
value off of it.
yeah, because by the time you get there, the Punisher is already dead. And also note that they're 10 and you're 9.
Mhm.
So it's so again, regardless of any situation as well, is, you know, if the Punisher is 75% or so, or you know, it's 100%, you know, where like, and you guys end up dying, but you guys end up like sneaking and getting like getting 40 monkeys, it's better to just use that Punisher as a bait to make all of them go to the Punisher and destroy it, and then after you just go push, get a wall or so on that way.
Yep,
Like there's
for
really
sure.
no reason. There's really no reason for you to continue at this point, because again they're 10 and you're 9. So yeah. So try to optimize it. So just pretty much
Okay.
use that Punisher as a bait and just go soak.
So I say soak. It's almost like we just talked about it. All right, so Diablo points top. I'm grabbing some mercs on the way. Because Rhaegar is a very good mercer.
Oh no, KT rip.
No. Oh no, team, what did you do down bot? Very good placement by the Tychus, actually, of
Yeah.
the drill.
The laser, yeah, that was actually really good. Blocked his path and he couldn't go anywhere.
You trap yourself.
Woo! Woo! This
What?
KT is insane.
Pyroblast, yes.
Oh my god, this KT is actually insane.
As a KT, and what he's referring to that has left him speechless is Phoenix is incredible on Infernal Shrines because of the zoning potential on the actual shrines. All right, so I have to get my team in line. They're starting to badmouth each other.
Woo! Phoenix value! Yeah!
Yep.
Yes!
Pyroblast value right there.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. Pyroblast value.
I was thinking about Phoenix this whole entire time that eating Pyroblast.
So, also, as a KT, never Pyroblast a Varian. Because Varian will inevitably, and there's the double lightning shield, getting some good damage. There's a wolf leap. Now I'm running back to the back of my team.
I don't think you need to waste ancestral heal there. I mean, it's perfectly fine because like there's legit no threats there. But again, because there's no threats there, like they don't really have any follow-up damage.
Sure.
So it's like, yeah, there's really no reason for you to waste ancestral heal because again, it's like once they spawn and regroup, and then you know one of your teammates is low, you're gonna need that ancestral heal. But whoopsie daisy, you use that ancestral heal on to the point where it didn't matter, you know. So you just wasted a spell, a heroic spell that's very crucial. So keep that in mind. Try not to waste your heroic abilities on a useless moment when you could have it, when it can be a greater value later as the game goes on.
Okay. So we've got the shrine pretty much to ourselves right now. Pinged retreat. Focus on this.
I'm not sure if you had cleanse up, but you could have cleansed one of them as well. And also, again, if you had an ancestral heal, then you could the Balera.
That's true.
And also note that as well is your level 4 talent, Spirit Walkers. I think it would be a lot better if you went the Healing Totem because you can because it's 2% of their maximum health every second for 10 seconds. So it's super good to get.
I completely agree. I normally just for my thought process, I really like Spirit Walkers just because of the amount of chain heals you'll be doing, and then the level 13 as well.
I mean,
because otherwise you're just so mana starved.
I mean, yes and no. I understand, like I said, I understand your thought process between this talent that you want. But if you look at it with Healing Totem, it's like now you have two ways of healing your
That's
teammates
true.
compared to if you just had
Sure.
one. And then as for your 13 talent, it's better that you take the shield as well, so that way when you lightning bond when you put your lightning shield on someone, they also get a shield, and that shield can either say it can pretty much save them from a burst, or prevent them from like a consistent from a poison or so, since there's a
Okay.
Sylvanas in this
So
game.
so you're saying you're just talking about the difference between having 3 different ways to heal versus um,
Than
one
just having
more
one.
powerful one, or one
Yeah,
that is cheaper and up more often if you take
yeah.
the 4 and 13.
Yeah, and it's also like it's gonna take you a while to get to 13, and then get that talent where it's a cooldown,
Sure.
compared to immediately once you hit 4, which is a super early game, like 3 to 4 minutes in, you have a healing
You
totem,
have
so
the
now you have
extra
two
heal.
way
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you have 2 ways to heal compared to if you just had one. And the build that you're going to is it takes a while, but sometimes it's like you don't have that time.
Sure.
You need to heal your teammates whenever it's needed. And the with Rhaegar, you can't heal that much, so it's better that you have more options to heal rather than you just fully putting loaded on one spell that can just not do so well in a late game as well.
Sure. No, that's interesting. I like. It's good to hear that reasoned out. It's not something you think about too often, but you're right. It's the difference between having one heal and having 3-ish heals. But one of
Yeah,
them's AOE.
3 ways to just heal up your teammates.
Okay.
Because also,
That's
again,
really
as
good.
well
That's
as
interesting.
because as well, it's like with the poison on Sylvanas with her dagger, it's like if you put a healing totem down, the moment she puts a dagger on someone and it spreads, that healing totem is pretty much just gonna heal up whatever damage she did.
Yeah.
Correct. So it's like that, and then that W, it just makes that W
No,
useless.
that's really good. That's really good. All right, so we got the Punisher. We're not going to get much done with it. We need to clear our bot and our top lanes, which is
All
what I'm
right.
pinging right now.
I want to also note that whenever you're playing Diablo, do not use your R just because. Like that guy legitimately just used R because, and then look, it got no value whatsoever.
Zero
Like
value.
you should be using your APOC when you stun someone with like your
Yeah. Or in
CC.
the engage when everyone's
Or
clumped
yeah,
together. Yeah.
yeah, like you should be doing that instead of just pressing an R and oh whoops a daisy, what happened? Nothing. So now it's like your APOC is on a cool.
All right, so I go bot to work on clearing some stuff up. They're working on merc camps. Yeah, the Mortar Punisher got a little value, but not much. More just denying it to them. That was the biggest value out of that Punisher. Alright, so Merc Camp top is grabbed to push them a little bit. Rotating middle. Mouth Roots had to use cleanse there to keep him from getting followed up on. Mouth BM, keeping Diablo from mounting. Freaking Moonfire. Oh, this is bad. KT gets taunted. Okay, so
That's really good. That's really good.
what? Pause right here, real fast. And this is one of the things, too, as a healer, especially for Rhaegar, that I want to point out. A lot of people just throw the Ancestral on. It's good to try and get the Q off as you're doing the Ancestral to give them the extra boost just in case there's enough damage, because that will, and this is something that would work for the 13 as well that you're talking about, but you could Storm Shield instead. It gives them that little extra boost to allow the Ancestral to go off just in case they take too much damage before the heal actually goes through.
Yeah, that's correct.
But yeah, like the shield on 13, it's a really good thing. He got cleansed out of the Pyroblast.
I know he got cleansed out of the root. That was probably.
I thought there was a Pyroblast. Can we?
There was
can
a
we-
pyro.
Like, what happened to
I'm
it?
I'm gonna try to go back to it. Hold up.
I wanna, because I saw the Pyroblast focusing on him, unless KT got interrupted somewhere. Is
Man,
that
they fixed the record like the replay system and then they broke it again.
did
I
it did
was
it
able to go. Oh, okay.
did it kick you out?
You're the host now. Okay, but you can keep playing. I
Oh,
mean,
are you
I'm
still
still.
in?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, weird. Okay. All
But
right.
yeah,
So
it's just
let's.
that you're.
There's the pyro.
Look, he was.
Oh, it did
Yeah,
hit.
he got
It did hit.
stunned. Yeah, it did hit, but he got stunned and all that sort. So that was a really good cleanse. That was a really, really good cleanse.
Yeah. No, this mouth is pretty on point.
No, it was actually the Uther that got the cleanse.
Oh,
Mouth
the
did
Uther
not
got the
go.
cleanse off.
Mouth went. Root
Oh yeah,
damage.
mouth went strangling vines, didn't he? Well, good job, Uther. Okay, and again, I reiterate, Tychus. Kill the Tychus. Like, the Tychus wrecked that fight. Just wrecked us completely. He's doing all the damage.
Valera? Wait, what is this Valera's build? Dude, my eyes are hurting so much with these talents and all this sort.
All right,
I don't.
we're
I
going
don't
in.
understand.
Had to get an ancestral on Diablo.
That was a really good ancestral though, but you might have killed. Oh, your KT lives. Yeah. Oh, that was really well. Well done. Your Arthas finally comes.
It took him a little while. Drill went down. Need to kill the drill.
Oh, the Valera.
And as a healer, this game was extremely stressful for me. This is a lot of low people right now.
I don't understand what your Valera is doing.
Just let it happen. I know. All right. Varian engaged again. There's the Tychus. And this is,
Yep.
yeah, this is all Valera. She needs to be, there we go.
Valera got a kill.
And we got a Punisher, and we are actually in a place where we can push with it. For once. Tychus is dead, and they've got there's a lot of CC potentially around it. Alright, so one thing I want to point out here, and this is a talent I normally pick a lot for Hero League to help out, Rising Storm.
Oh, what
And
is
this
that
is-
talent?
And this is an incredible talent for Hero League because of the extra damage it can provide your tank or whoever's up in the front line, and this can sometimes mean the difference between a kill or not. It's not a talent I will take when a lot of times when I'm in a team setting, but for Hero League especially, I've found it to be very useful for
I
kill
mean, it's
securing.
also.
Since it's
I
AoE.
understand. Yeah, I understand your thought process on it, but it's all. But I think the Earthgraph Totem will just also give you good values, regardless, if it's a Hero League or
Sure.
not, because with the slow, it's like it can help your tanks get that root or get that stun a lot easier. When they're 80%, like what is it, 90% when
Yeah,
they're
90% slow.
super. Yes, 90% slow compared to what is your initial slow right now? 35%. It'll just help your CCers do hit that target a lot easier.
Yep.
So but
Yep,
yeah,
that's also very good.
It does rely a little bit on your teammates, but all that sort. But if you don't, tend to rely and you
Yes.
need that damage, then I guess Rising Storm is an okay talent to take as well. Really good that you backed off there because you would have got hit by that D-Storm. So good mechanics, good mechanic practice.
All right, so we got some good value. I say B. We're all super low. The worst thing we could do is chase further at this point. We got a clear top. Pretty bad. Grab the mercs. We've got mercs top we can get. We've got top that needs to be cleared. And at this point, we're actually doing okay.
Yeah.
We're down a fort, but we've almost caught up in XP.
Not too bad.
After a very shaky early game.
Well, at the end of the day, at least this KT went the correct build, 13 and 16.
All right,
now
that was
really
beautiful.
good Diablo.
That was beautiful. That is
But
exactly.
it didn't get the target that y'all should have gotten.
All right, Ancestral had to go down on Diablo. We still haven't killed Tychus.
And Tychus needs to be the target there. Tychus was, you guys would have just insta wiped him after, right? And Tychus is. Woo! The Pyro's got value.
Again, it still shouldn't necessarily have been used on Varian. Say Tychus. Tychus. Like, that should have been a complete team wipe easily.
Yeah, if
And
you guys got
Tychus
the
was allowed to live the entire time, and he wrecked everything. As I iterated onto the screen. Thankfully, our top merc camp is getting value. If there's something to be said, we did get 2 kills, but we got a team wipe, and they got another fort out of it. So,
Were you guys able to get this far? Yes. Okay.
never focus Varian unless he's the only one left. The Pyroblast, because he picked Pyroblast, needs to be used every single time on that main damage dealer. Because even if it doesn't kill the main damage dealer, that will probably take them out of the fight.
Yes.
And that's what Pyroblast is good for, right? It's even if you don't get the kill, you can basically negate somebody. And so we say give, we need 20.
Pyroblast
19.
is just for memes. If you want to be a memer, you take Pyroblast. That's really it.
All right, so our plan is grab this, so we have a bottom camp pushing. Then we're gonna B and defend middle keep. I pinged a lot in this game.
Yeah, it's good. That's pretty much how you carry as a support.
Lots of pings. All right. Let Arthur Dibbles poke it. They did. So now, and this is the lightning shield is actually getting some decent value here because I'm throwing it on the tanks, so they're able to get some extra damage because this is not something place I want to be. Had to ancestral the KT.
Lyra got the target correctly.
Yeah, Tychus is dead. Crazy.
And KT died.
In the beams.
And you're dead.
They used a lot of things. This is literally the most stressful situation ever. Okay. So this is 3v3 right now.
I think it's can you pause real quick? I want pause. P. The best thing that you can do as a support player is if you got your ancestral heal off, you got your cleanse, and you got your storm shield off, then you did everything that you could at that point. Like that's legitimately it. So it's like everything that you did in that fight was perfectly fine. Like yes, you died, but like you got your ancestral heal. I don't know if you cleansed, but
I did cleanse.
Okay, so you got that cleanse
I cleansed
off.
a root.
Okay, I don't know if you got your storm shield off.
I did get the storm shield off.
Then yeah, you did absolutely everything that you could that fight, and now you just have to rely on your team to finish off the rest of the kills.
Valera killed Sylvanas, which is good, but they still got Uther and Varian up. Valera is extremely low. And the whole team just gets scared, and I'm scared because Varian's got the heal debuff right now. And in a normal situation, this would be a retreat, honestly. But they are able to get the Uther, who's got Resurrection. And so now I say, I'm pointing, I'm like, guys, Uther's rezzing.
Thinking.
Yes, thinking. Ping, ping, ping. I don't know why Diablo went top. But
Yeah, there's no reason for him to go back top. Like, he gets a 20.
it's like, kill,
The
make
fort's
sure
not
the
gonna
Uther's
die.
dead. Heart attack. So we even up the XP. What a crazy game this was. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I just want to...
It takes you about 20
We are
minutes.
okay, let's remember back. I said kill Tychus at what? 7 minutes.
About 6:45.
7 minutes. Okay, I got that off my chest. Sorry. Continue. Having Tychus dead really helped. Oh, hashtag just gold things. Alright, so now we have we've got some control, we got good positioning on the shrine. We grab this because why not? Varian and Uther still are rezzing. We got a camp pushing top. This is pushing mid. And Valeera goes Tychus. Yes, Valeera. Tychus. Alright, and so we decided to party bush. Alright, they're all up. And remember, our strong suit is AoE. We've got Kel'Thas, Crazy Flame Strikes, we got APOC. There it is.
Oh my god, that Diablo is a god.
Now, get the Punisher.
That was a really good teleport by Diablo. Got that
the
first
Hellgate off.
stun. Yep.
Yep.
And then after that APOC. Really, really good.
And then the Cinder Gosa followed it right up. So I ping, someone help me come get mercs, because we know the Punisher is going to be pushing bottom. So we need to be pushing with this Punisher, because this is potentially our win scenario right here. So I'm trying to clear as much of bottom as I can while this Punisher comes down. And then it's push bot. It's like, team, push with. Team, where'd you go? Team, why are you killing middle?
What is your team doing?
I
After mid?
I
I think it's
so I say push bottom with the Punisher, because we have a Punisher and mercs, and the team is just getting here. Like, this could potentially have just, like, screw everything up. That leg time right there.
Yeah, what you want to do is when it's okay. Can you pause real quick? Pause. Okay, so at this point it's like before. So like when it looks like this punish like any Punisher is gonna be a win condition. You really want to try to just really push with the Punisher right away. So
Yes.
you want to push so you want to push the lane early. So you want to get ahead of the Punisher early, so that you can get in position. So like if you need to take down a wall, so that way like once the Punisher when John Cena does his thing where he jumps over the gate and stuns someone, then it's like you can follow up because you have the gate down, you have the wall down or so on like that, and that can you can after that just blow someone up after John Cena does his thing. So yeah. And also note that you're level 20 already. You don't really need to look for XPs anymore. You should be looking to try to finish the game if you
the
have
middle fort
objectives.
the middle fort does nothing for you at this point.
It really
Absolutely
does
nothing.
for you at this point. It's really best to try to create that. I mean, to create that win condition and follow through with it,
Hmm.
rather than being doing something
Late.
stupid and
Yeah.
being late. Because if it's a better team, then they could easily just escort this and prevent all of this from happening and so on like that. So make sure that you're positioned correctly, so that way again, you can take down a gate or you can take down a wall, so that way you can follow up on John Cena and then blow someone up and win the game or whatever it is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So Divine Storm being used. Valera's in a really bad spot. She kind of moved up past
Yeah,
everybody.
TBK, you're so insane.
I try.
You're so insane with your positioning.
Storm Shield.
Storm Shield. Oh my god, saved him. Oh my god, that Pyro Blast.
Now I ping Core, guys. See, and that Punisher could have had another like third health
Yeah.
if we had followed up right at the beginning.
Okay.
Blue team is victorious.
Stressful game.
Yeah.
But
It looked even. I don't know. For me, it's like a stressful game is a good game for when you're playing a support, because you can. It helps. It helps. Mechanical plays and all that sort.
yeah,
Helps
it's
you.
true.
It helps you become a better support player if you're looking to um, climb HL as a support player, or just trying to get in the competitive scene and practice all these sorts. Because when you play in the competitive scene, it's like you're always gonna be it's always gonna be stressful for you. So you
Sure.
want to have that muscle memory. You want to get used to it, so that way it's like whenever a super stressful moment comes in, it's like you'll know what to do, because you already thought this throughout. The scenario already happened to you and all that
Yep,
and all that
exactly.
stuff.
No, I appreciate the tips. The build tips are very good, especially
Yes.
you know using
Remember.
multiple heals, positioning, of course, uh, as a healer, backline, and that's something I need to work on. I will admit I am very aggressive with Rhaegar. Sometimes it works
Healing
out really well. Sometimes it doesn't as much.
support. I mean, not it's just building the correct talents is always super super important. Keep that in mind. Always build correctly. Don't build wrong. If you build wrong, you're gonna put your team in a super risky position. Like today, I can quickly just go over like this quick scenario. So it's like I was playing with Dyrus today in the morning. I found him in HL, and he went Sonya and I went Tychus, and it was in Braxis holdout. So like it was a solo lane Sonya, and then I picked Tychus at that because Tychus destroys a Sonya. So like everything was going well, like we were winning because I destroyed the 1v1 and my 4-man was doing really really well. But and also note that I have a Greyman as well. So the Greyman went to Q build and won 4 and 7, and then at 10, he should have taken the Gopher throw, but he took Curse Bullet. And you should really never take Curse Bullet when you have a Tychus, because Curse Bullet, you want to consider Curse Bullet as like a minigun, and you have Tychus who is has a minigun and can just burn through the tank's HP. And because he went Curse Bullet, we have no way of finishing a kill, even though
Mm,
like we have someone who can just burn someone down super fast, but you don't have a finisher, which is the Greyman that's supposed to be the finisher with his Gopher Throat. So like, and that alone legitimately cost us the game
hmm.
because she didn't go Gopher Throat.
Because you
So
couldn't
just know,
finish kills off.
yeah, because you couldn't finish kills off. So note that, always make sure you go the correct talents, because if you do not go the correct talents, you're putting your team at a risk. So yeah.
And again, when he says correct talents, there are situational talents.
Yes,
There
there are.
most
There are
certainly
situations.
are, but there's some talents on heroes currently that are just obviously superior to others.
Hmm.
And so and that's and in doing those things, look up build guides. There's the pros have put out tons of good build guides. McIntyre has a build for everything, for like Hero League and tier lists and stuff. Those are great resources to start with.
Yeah, and also I know recently that a song put out a tier list for excuse me, a tier list for HL. So you can go look that up real quick. Find him at his Twitter, TS Psalm or something, and then find his tier list, because I looked through his tier list and I 100% agree with his tier list, because it also talks about like a certain hero where like it's bolded, and it talks about like it's based off skill wise. So like if you're really a high skill player, skill player with a certain hero, that hero can fluctuate between a tier 3 or tier 2 or tier or something like that.
Sure, and
So I
that's
highly
at Psalm Hot, PSALM Hots, at Psalm Hots for his Twitter.
Yep. So
Um,
check out his
yeah, for
tier
sure.
list.
Do you have time for an unranked, or are you out of time for this week?
I'm out of time,
Okay.
so yeah.
So we'll make sure we get a game in next week. But
Mhm.
that was thank you very much. Lots of good information and insights for the replays, for sure.
Mhm.
There's just so much stuff that you can do to give your team an advantage, even as a solo person.
Yes.
It's crazy. And going through replays again, and looking at builds, even stuff that I never thought about necessarily, and I've played hundreds of games with Rhaegar, just in certain situations, can be huge. And
Mhm.
positioning, using ults correctly, not using APOC randomly,
Yeah.
whatever, not using the medic
Ah.
item on Hanamura when you are full and not
Oh.
next to anybody else.
Yep.
That I think peeved me the most in that game. That was very frustrating. But you know, we got through. Keep grinding. I mean, in a lot of ways, especially on your Hero League grinding. That's something I'm finding out too. It's going to take a lot of games, a lot of times to move up.
Yes.
It is. Like, you can't control your teammates. All you can do is control yourself and give helpful advice. And so, Juki, I would assume you would agree. Learn the macro game.
Mhm.
So important. Just so important. Learn the macro game for each map, and we've gone through all the maps and kind of what to do. You can check out the previous episodes. And we've hit every map at Hanamura, and we haven't done that one quite yet because I've been kind of waiting for the meta to settle a little bit, so that
I
we
mean,
can
I
learn a little bit
can.
more. But we can probably hit
Yeah.
that up here soon
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
because there's a lot of strategies,
Mhm.
different things you can do for that map, and we kind of talked about it a little bit as we went through the replay too. But
Yep.
it'll be good. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. You can find me on Twitter at TPKZord. If you like what you saw, you can give the channel a follow. And of course, if you're into podcasts, you can check out Lords of the Storm. There's a link to the podcast below. And Juki, where can everyone find you and potentially get coached by you?
Oh yeah. So currently, right now, the offer's still open. It's open to everyone. Yeah, so I'm doing a personal private session coaching. If you want to hit me up, you can find me on Twitter at Juki Hots, and then you can also find my Twitch at Juki underscore as well. Currently right now, I'm still having problem with the internet, but I can't stream or anything because like once I upload or like
Your
stream
upload
it like cut.
sucks.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
like cuts off during the middle of a game or so, or like if I'm updating a game or something, it just cuts me off. So like I'm
Sure.
having like internet problems right now. But I'm moving out soon, or and I think in 2 weeks, or actually yeah, either 2 weeks or the following week, I will be staying at a friend's house. So I will be streaming a lot more when that happens. But
Awesome.
I'll keep people updated on my Twitter there. So again, you can find me on Twitter. On
And if
Twitter, Juki Hots.
and if they want a coaching session, they just need to DM you.
Yes,
right? For
my DM,
all the
my
stuff.
DMs are open. Yeah, my DMs are open, so you're
So
more than
slide right
welcome.
into those DMs,
Yeah,
guys.
slide in my DM, guys. It's a hundred
It's good.
percent.
It's a great value for what you're going to get. You'll basically get a personalized version of the replay sessions that we went through.
Mhm.
It's very useful. You can learn a lot. It really helps a lot when a third party can objectively look at your game and your gameplay and your talents and point out stuff that you may not have thought of or you may not have seen.
Yeah, I have a couple of people that I'm coaching right now, going over their replays, 2 hours, and after the sessions, they go play a little bit, and then after that, they tell me, like they learned a lot. Like you will learn
Mm-hmm.
a lot from the coaching session, from the sessions,
Yep.
because I don't just really focus on just one thing. Like I try to really just as well generalize, but again, focus on you yourself,
Yep.
when you're in a session.
For sure. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll be back again next week with another episode of Masters Class. And until then, we'll see you in the Nexus. That's a cheesy line, isn't it? I feel like
Yes,
I feel like I stole that
yes,
from HGC. We'll play the
yes.
game. We'll be in game playing heroes. It'll be good. We might see ya, but if we don't, we'll see you next Sunday. Take care, everybody.